Hello and welcome or welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, my yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria and this is episode number 33. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I hope you're all doing well. In this episode I have some exciting news to share with you and quite a few things to talk about. First off, what am I drinking? I have made myself a cup of Yorkshire tea. It's right over there, and I hope you also have some good beverages beside you and you're knitting as always, and I hope you enjoy this episode because I am very excited about this. So I think we can get started. I don't have any finished objects, but I would like to recap from last episode where I quickly showed you my Moby sweater. First of all, what I'm wearing my Haley slip over by Hive Makes. I finished it in the last episode and this is how I would pair it. I actually bought some new trousers and I think it looks really good. Let me know what you think, if it's too bright. The colour has grown on me. It is still a bit brighter than what the camera picks up. I just have such a hard time trying to capture the true nature of this colour, but I just have to accept the fact that I can't. So I'm going to insert a few pictures of me in the Haley slip over because I mentioned it a few times that I don't know if it will. That was too fast. Sorry. I mentioned a few times that I wasn't sure if it would actually match with my wardrobe, and I think this is actually a really good pairing and office wear. And the next thing, my Moby sweater, which I finished also in the last episode. Here it is without it being too damp and me not being able to hold it up properly. I love this thing. This is my pride and joy. I have worn this so many times. It is so soft and fluffy and not itchy at all, and it just looks so good with everything. I'm gonna insert a video of me wearing it, how I would pair it as well, and I am so happy with this piece. I think the white is really the best colour I could have chosen because I wore this with my navy slacks, with my black trousers. It just goes with anything and everything, even jeans. And I can't stress enough how much I adore this thing, and I kind of want another one, but at the same time I'm just really happy with the one that I have. So if you want to make a cable knit sweater this season, I highly recommend making this one. It really isn't as difficult as it looks, and for me it was actually one of the quickest knits I have made this year. So that was just a little recap on those things. My Moby sweater still has a little bit, so I have fluff floating around and on me everywhere, but I hope that within a couple of days and potentially even weeks, maybe another wash, it will finally settle and I won't have to worry about it flying and being in my food and just being everywhere. Right, so let's get into whips. Like I mentioned, I have no further finished objects, but I have my massive basket with my whips in here. And the first thing, which I actually thought I might have finished by now, but I haven't, but that's, you know, okay, not a big deal, is my Ali's sweater. The Ali's sweater is a sweater pattern by Sarah Opie, S-Knits on Instagram, and it looks like this. Ta-da! I am also so happy with this piece. I have worked on it a lot. This has been my primary knitting project really, purely because of the yarn. I mean, the pattern is great as well, but the main factor for me why I kept coming back to this project and kept knitting on this was just the yarn. First of all, how gorgeous is this? I am so happy with the contrast colour. The yarn is Olivia and Oliver Fibres, Merino DK in Mahogany and Shell. Both of these are the Merino DK. I had a look on her website again to see where I can find the base, and she has these in lots of bases, but she doesn't have this one, I believe, in the, or was it this one? Either one of them. She doesn't have it in the Merino DK at the moment, but I have the Merino DK, not the classic one, because the classic one has some nylon in it, I believe. This yarn, like I said, is just absolutely gorgeous. It is so round, so smooth, really just such a pleasure to work with, and that's why I have finished both of the sleeves and I'm almost done with the body as well. The reason why I made the sleeves first was because I wasn't sure if I did have enough yarn. I bought the yarn in January, so I was a bit lazy and didn't want to look up if I actually have the amount of yarn that I need. Turns out I do, because I still have almost the whole cake and I'm almost done with the body. So that's why I made the sleeves first. That's actually a first for me. I never make the sleeves first, but it was kind of pleasant because you didn't have the whole sweater to like flip around, and they were actually really fast as well. I actually prefer working on the body. I don't know why, because the body takes longer because it's a bigger circumference and stuff, but I don't know, I guess just simplicity's sake. I did not make any alterations. I think I knit everything pretty much to pattern. The only thing is with the armholes, I always pick up 2 stitches under the armholes to avoid holes. Let me see. It's pretty neat. This is the neatest I can get it, really. So what I do, I pick up 2 stitches instead of 1 and then immediately decrease them in the next rounds. And I feel like that just gives me the best result under the armhole. On the other sleeve, I think I didn't do that. I did it like the pattern said I should, by only picking up 1 stitch, and it gave me quite a lot of holes. So I have to go back and just close those holes up by pulling and tugging on the yarn. But that's not a big deal, at least to me. I still have to weave in the ends from where I picked up on the armholes, and that will give me some yarn to fill some of the gaps if there are any left. About the pattern itself, it has grown on me. I still find it a bit difficult to follow just because there are so many visuals for aesthetics sake, I guess. I prefer just a really simple pattern that is kind of boring, I guess, but it has grown on me, and now that I'm almost done with it anyways, I feel like I was way more intimidated before I even started than when I'm actually making the garment. And I don't think I have anything bad to say. She seems to be very thorough with her pattern, at least with this one, and it was a real pleasure to knit on this. The only alteration that I made was the pattern said that I have to knit 2 more rounds of the main colour, before I bind off in the tubular bind off. Now, I didn't do that. I did it on the first cuff and I just didn't like the look of it. I'm kind of in love with the Italian bind off now. I usually do the tubular one, but what happens with that one is it kind of splits. So, I mean, you can't see it on this one. I don't have a sweater with me right now where I did that, but it kind of splits and then it doesn't constrict anymore, so the ribbing is kind of stretched out, and I don't love the look of it, and I don't love how it then flares out at the bottom because it's too stretched. So with my Moby sweater, PetiteKnit suggested the Italian bind off, and I follow that to a T with the 2 setup rows and then doing the tubular bind off, I guess. And I really like the result of it with it on the sleeves especially, because normally my sleeve cuffs are like super stretched out, but with this it's really nice and bouncy. And I really like the look of it so much that I decided to skip the tubular bind off for this sweater and do the 2 setup rows and then do the tubular one to have an Italian bind off. So it now gives me kind of a tiny cuff. It is fairly tight around my wrist, but I've not blocked it yet, so I'm sure I will get some length or width here. But it's really stretchy and I like that a lot. And you can see how it goes back to the original length. So that's the only alteration I did with this sweater, really. I do have to weave in the ends still, so they're still poking out everywhere, but I am so happy with this piece. I can't wait to finish it because it just is perfect for autumn. I think the colour choice is really nice, and the contrast, of course, was really important to me. About the ribbing, I don't quite know if I want to make the ribbing in the main colour, because that's what the pattern suggests, or if I actually want to use up or try to make the ribbing with most of the contrasting colour, because you do have the cuff in the contrast colour, but the normal ribbing, like the body rib, is in the main colour. I've not decided yet. I am kind of a sucker for using up all of the yarn bits left over, so I don't have any leftovers. I'm sure I'm not the only one, I hope not. But I try to avoid having as many leftovers as possible, and especially with hand-dyed yarn I really want to incorporate everything that I can in it. I actually need to check if I can start the ribbing now, because when I tried it on, the yoke was fairly deep, but because of the depth of the yoke, it already hit my hip bones where I had the body, but when I lifted my arms everything came up, of course, because of the depth of the yoke. And that is because I'm actually off gauge on the whole colour work portion. I need 20 stitches and I only got 19. So I also hope with blocking that something magical will happen and it won't stretch out too much, or it will even constrict even more, because it is hand-dyed yarn, and in my experience hand-dyed yarn constricts a lot more and doesn't like to be stretched as much as woolly yarn, for example. But yeah, this is my Ali sweater, super happy with it. Next time it will be finished and you will see what I did with the ribbing. If you have any suggestions, should I make it in the contrast colour or in the main colour, do let me know down below, and I will show you the result next time. So that is my first whip, and like I said, the only whip that I've really worked on. I have not really worked on my Oh no, I'm dropping stitches. Tuku, that's what it's called. Tuku by the Petite Knitter. I've not worked on it at all because I was so focused on my Alice sweater. This is what it looks like at the moment. Like I said, you have all of the information about this project in the last video, because I don't think there's any point in me telling you about it when nothing has changed from last time. But I will get back to that pretty soon, because now I'm finished with the colour work portion of the Alice sweater. And then I have another whip which I did actively work on, and this is my Kerr sweater by Rebecca Clow. This time I hope I can remember that it's the Kerr sweater, because last time I got really upset when I edited the video and I kept referring to the wrong pattern. But this is what it looks like. I have joined in the round. So last time I only had the back panel. I have now finished the back and the two fronts and joined in the round. And yeah, I am I am at the point where I am supposed to start the colour work portion. Sorry about the scrunched up piece. My cable is not long enough for the amount of stitches, but this will have to do for now. It is so soft, but now I'm at the colour work portion. So again, colour work. I do enjoy colour work a lot, but I think I was a bit too ambitious when I started all of these projects, and all of them were with colour work. But I am looking forward to this one. It's just a really long repeat. It's a repeat of 22 stitches, which is going to be very interesting because I'm also making the deeper colour work. Now, I really like the look of it. Let's see how I like knitting on it, because I've only worked on a handful of projects with such a long repeat round. It's going to be interesting. But this is what it looks like for now. About the yarn, this is Austrian yarn. This is Lambswool by Ferner Wolle. It is Merino wool. This is what it looks like in the colour 1004. I love working with this. It is so pleasant. I can't wait to wash it because it smells sheepy, and even now it's already really soft but kind of rough. It's really difficult to explain. It's not as rough as woolly knit, but it has like a softness to it. So it's been really pleasant to work with this yarn. You get 140 meters in one ball. This is 50 grams. And I checked my gauge. I was a bit too tight at the beginning of the back portion, but I think now I should be on gauge. The gauge is 20 stitches. It does look a bit small for a drop shoulder, so I'm wondering if I am off gauge and that's why it looks so small. I'm making size 3. Normally I make some of the smallest size, but with this one, for the bust circumference that I have, plus the ease that I want, I suggested size 3. So that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm following. And the next thing will be the collar, because I think these sweaters just look so odd with absolutely nothing there, just a gaping hole. So that will be the next thing that I want to do before I start the color work. For the contrast color, I have this gorgeous off-white. This is 1001, and it will look just so good. I think the grey is a really nice grey. It's not too dark that it's leaning onto charcoal, but it's also not too light that it's more like a pebble stone. I think I don't have that many really dark grey sweaters, so I think this would be a really nice addition. So far the pattern has been really nice and easy to follow, no complaints there. And she has also different charts in the pattern included. So if you want to make the deeper color work, you have a different chart. And if you want to, depending on what your contrasting color will be, she's also got a different chart. So if your contrast color will be light, you have a different one, or if your contrast color will be a dark color, you also have a different one, which I think is actually a really good idea, because oftentimes when you only have one chart and the pattern is worked with a dark contrast color, it can be really difficult for you to follow the instructions, because you have to flip everything. All the dark spots will be light for you. So I think that was a really nice surprise, because I didn't know that. I just thought there would be two charts, one for the deeper color work and one for the thinner strip. But yeah, that is living in my cute strawberry bag. And my second to last whip that I can show you today is my Eva cardigan by PetiteKnit. I am making the smallest size on this one because the ease is 26 centimeters and I don't want to necessarily drown in a cardigan. But this is what I have so far. It just looks so odd because I also have so I finished the back. Last time I only just cast it on. I finished the back piece, which is here. And you have these really nice thick slopes on your shoulders, and then you cast on to the front here. So I finished the back and finished the right front, which is why it's on this stitch holder connected to the back. And I'm currently working on the left front. I think I'm pretty much finished with that as well. And the next step will be joining, I believe. I could be wrong, I have to read the pattern. But this is all I have so far. I know it's not so much, but it's a lot more than what I had last time when I literally just cast on the stitches onto the needles. I'm working with 4mm needles, and the yarn is Drops Karisma 100% wool superwash in the color 77. So it's a really nice beigey grey color, and I think it will be kind of like a wardrobe basic. I'm really digging and needing neutral colored things so I can pair it with lots of different garments. So that is exactly what this will be the purpose of in my wardrobe. So, about the Eva cardigan as well, I am not sure if I am on gauge. It seems very tight. I did measure, but I always have a different gauge in the rounds than what I have knitting flat. So my knit rows are always on gauge and my purl rows are a bit too tight because I'm just worried about purling too tightly, or too loosely, which makes me purl too tightly. I know this is a problem. I'm not able to change that from one day to the next, and I'm just trying my best, but at the same time it's also my knitwear, so I can just make whatever I want with it. So I do need to check gauge again, maybe after I have a little bit more. So far I am really intrigued with the construction because I thought it was very odd that I am supposed to be finished with the back piece after just casting on such a small amount of new stitches, but then this actually being where the front comes out. So I'm very interested where the next bit will lead me to, and I hope I can work on this a little bit more. Purling is not my strong suit at all. I also don't enjoy it, so this might take a while for it to be done, because also of the size, because it's a bigger garment, but we'll just have to see, I guess. I tried finding some buttons already, but I always have a really hard time finding nice buttons. So if you have a shop in mind, please let me know where you get your buttons from. I normally go to my normal local fabric shop, but the problem with them is they have a really big selection of buttons, but they don't have the sizes on them. So I never know if the button will be, I don't know, 15 millimeters or whatever I need. I know my local yarn shop has a few buttons, mostly for PetiteKnit designs as well, but I just want some normal standard buttons, nothing really fancy. So like I said, if you have a shop in mind, please let me know so I can go and check that out. So that is my Eva cardigan, and the last whip where I have worked a little bit on it is my sock. And when I say a little bit, I really mean a little bit. I've not worked on this a lot at all, just because I've not been feeling like knitting lately. I've just been working on my Ali sweater, and apart from that I've just been reading a lot, not really knitting. I have these like ups and downs. I think everyone has that. I hope I'm not the only one, but right now I'm just in, I was in a knitting frenzy for the past month, and now I'm just kind of trying to relax and take it a bit slower. So this is my other plain vanilla sock. This is the second sock that I need to have a pair. This is also Ferner Wolle, Lungauer Socken. This is what it looks like. I've showed this a million times now, because I've been working on the socks, the first one especially, for forever. So you can, I don't know, go to my other videos to see more about that. Fun fact, Lungauer Socken. Lungau is actually a place in Austria, so it's not like a nonsense name, but it's an actual like district, or not district, more like area in Austria, more so towards Salzburg. So I thought that might be, I don't know, interesting to know. So those were all of my whips now, for real. I do still have a few lingering here and there where I've either not worked on them, or yeah, whatever. Mostly I've not worked on them. I do have a yarn order coming though, and I do have an update on my Robinson wrap cardigan, which I've been working on for the past 3-4 months. It's October now. I started in July. I started in July. And then if you have not watched my previous episodes, a quick recap on that one as well. Robinson wrap cardigan by Florence Miller. Great pattern. It is, like the name suggests, a wrap cardigan with some ties around your waist. I finished the whole thing. I made it in Sunday by Sandnes Garn Held Double in a really nice lavender colour, and then I ran out of yarn, and then I went to the yarn shop, but they only had one ball left, so I bought that one ball and then I ran out again. So that is kind of what has happened with this project over the past 3 to 4 months. And a lovely viewer has actually asked me if I'm still looking for the colour, and I said yes. And she told me that the colour is discontinued, which I didn't know before, but that also explains why my local yarn shop doesn't stock it anymore. So thank you so much, because I would have never found out about this. I don't know how you guys find out about things that are discontinued. I'm just always in the dark, I feel like. But turns out the colour that I need is discontinued, and I found, or she actually sent me the link of one yarn shop in Germany that does still carry that colour. So I ordered 2 more balls of this. I think I would have been fine with just 1, but I want to be on the safe side now that I know that this won't be around for that much longer, or they might not even produce it anymore already. But I just really wanted to be on the safe side, because I want to finish this cardigan, especially since I'm already by the button bands, more than halfway through the button band, so I just need to finish that and then the ties, and then it's finally done. So I have this yarn order coming, and of course I couldn't just buy 2 balls of yarn, but I had to get a little bit more from the shop to really make it worth it, because shipping from Germany is so darn expensive, and I don't understand why. We share a border. We surround Germany for a really good amount of space at the bottom of Germany, and yet the shipping costs are between 10 to 20 euros to just cross the border. I might be a bit cynical here, because I know for other people it might sound not a lot, but for me, shipping from Germany is just something that I don't like to do, because it's so expensive for no reason, at least none that I can see. So to really make this order worth it, I of course had to get a few more things just to make my money's worth and kind of justify it a little bit better. If they're already taking like 15 euros of my whole purchase just for shipping. So I'm excited for that to come. I hope that next time I will already have it, and I might even have the finished garment. I really hope so, because I do need that cardigan. I say it every time, but I do. So that was the update on that one. I don't have any yarn acquisitions this time, but I do have some other acquisitions. Let me just have a sip of tea. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you will already know what I'm talking about, but I bought a bunch of stitch holders. That's what they're called, stitch holders. I have seen some stitch holders on Instagram, and then I fell down a rabbit hole, and then of course I had to buy quite a few because I thought, why not? I know that I don't really use them, especially if I only have 1 or 2 projects on the go, but they were just so cute, and you will see in a minute why I couldn't resist. So the shop is called Mel Knitwear, I think. She's called Melanie. I'm gonna insert her name here and also link her down below. She has got a fantastic shop. She's from Germany, and her shipping costs are actually only €3.60, which is a godsend, because when I saw that she was from Germany, I thought I won't be able to order anything of her because of the cost. But no, it's not that bad for her at all, so I had to get a few things. Trying to figure out how to show you the best without it being a bit weird. The first one is this really cute fox. Isn't this just adorable? Of course you have 2 because you have 2 needles, but this fox, I just really wanted something that screams autumn, and I think this fox is just perfect for it. I was looking for a mushroom stitch holder and I couldn't find one, which is a bummer because that would have been just really nice as well. But the first ones are these really cute foxy ones, and then to kind of keep going with the autumn vibes, I bought some sunflowers. This is what it looks like. This one is actually a really chunky one, but the colour is just so nice. She has this flower in a few different colours, but I thought a sunflower, it makes me happy, so just let me be happy, please. The next one is a Highland cow. Isn't that so cute? Oh, that's just so adorable. I've been wanting to have a Highland cow something for such a long time. I still do want to find a pin, and now that I have the needle holders or stitch holders, it's a sign. And then the last pair that I bought, that is more so Christmas themed, but I couldn't resist because to me it's not just Christmas. Is an elk. Oh, it's so cute. This one is so adorable. All of them really are, but I think this might actually be my favorite out of the whole bunch. I'm gonna put them on some needles so you can actually see them, what they look like in action. They are so cute. She has so many, and it was really difficult to choose only 4. I mean, even 4 is quite a lot because, like I said, I don't really need them, but I couldn't resist. So if you want to buy some more stitch holders, then go and check out her store because she has just so many. I think she has over 200 products, so it's a lot. Here they are. How can I show it to you? And then the fox. Oh, they are so cute. I am so happy with these. And yeah, that is my one and only purchase. I don't regret a little thing. I don't regret it at all. And I will probably get some more of her at some point, but for now I think that's enough. I do have my koalas and I am really happy with those as well, but because I had those on my Ali sweater and then I needed some for some other projects, like I said, I fell in a rabbit hole, but I don't regret it. I love supporting small businesses, especially the ones that are kind of around me and not too far away. So yeah. Apart from that, like I said, don't have any acquisitions, so we are kind of done with the knitting portion of the video. If you want to stick around where I talk about my first wool festival, then please do, because I do have some things to tell you. If not, then I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see you next time. Right, before we get into, let's take another sip because my voice is going. Like I said, was at my first wool festival last weekend. I think it was last weekend. It was in Vienna and it was incredible. I didn't take any pictures. I was just so overwhelmed. I came directly after work. The wool festival was from Saturday till Sunday in kind of a an interesting area of Vienna. I've never been there. I don't think I will ever go there again if I don't have to, just because it's so out of the way from me that I was able to pair it when I was coming back from work, that I could just stay on the train. Otherwise I might have not even gone there. But like I said, I came from work and there were just so many people, and it was kind of incredible, but at the same time very, very overwhelming. I did not stay that long. I also didn't buy anything, but it was just really cool to see all of these people come together and share their passion and yarn and things that they make themselves. So it kind of had a lower floor and an upper floor. It was in a shopping center, kind of at the front part of the shopping center where you have a bigger area, and there were, I would say, 10 to 15 vendors in total. Not all of them carried hand-dyed yarn because it was primarily for hand dyers from Austria. I don't think I've seen anyone from Germany. But it was really cool because I only know of a few Austrian hand dyers, and it was nice to see a few more, at least knowing that they exist. And I took some business cards with me as well to go and check out their stores further on. Of course I touched a lot of yarn because how could you not? There were some really, really lovely bases there. I kind of wish I bought something, but at the same time I'm not like a one skein kind of girl, because I like to make sweaters. I don't really like to make shawls or headbands or accessories in general. I like to do the bigger things, so I couldn't just grab one skein, and I was kind of a chicken to ask if they had any more skeins of, for example, this one particular colorway. So I kind of just left it and said, alright, I'm sure she doesn't have any more, whatever. So that was completely on me. But because there were so many people, I felt so out of my element, also because I was on my own. A lot of them were together in like groups of 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and I was just there on my own, which I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but for me that's just so out of the ordinary. And I wouldn't say I suffer from social anxiety, but I'm definitely uncomfortable in big like groups of people on my own with not knowing everything, because I am a planner. I need to know all of the things beforehand. So it was an interesting experience, but it was so nice to see all of the vendors being so passionate about their yarn. And yeah, there were also people with that sold project bags. I saw someone selling the ceramic bowls where you can thread your yarn through a hole, or like have like a spiral. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, it was just a really great vibe there, and I really like to go to another one, but maybe with another person. I did actually plan on buying something there. That was my intention from the get-go. Like when I got up in the morning, I told myself, all right, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna buy something and it's gonna be great. But then I kind of backed out. I'm not feeling guilty or anything, but it was nice to just go there, and I'm so proud that I also did it on my own, to be honest. So that was already a huge step for me. And like I said, I have some business cards with me, so I do know where to find those people and also see people in person, I guess. So that was my experience with the Wool Festival. I'm sorry I didn't take any pictures. I'm gonna try and see I'm gonna try and insert some pictures from other people, especially over on Instagram, because there was a whole hashtag and everything going on, so you can get a bit of a picture of what it looked like. But I was just happy to be there, or have been there, gone there by myself, tried it out, and then got home. So that was my experience, and apart from that, I don't think I have done anything else. The knit night is coming up again in next week, actually, I think, or 2 weeks. I could be wrong, either next week or the week after, which I'm excited about, because then I can see all of the lovely people again and take my project and just knit for a whole evening. And then the exciting news, which I now almost forgot about, I have booked myself a flight to London in November. This is such a huge step for me. I've never traveled on my own. I've done some traveling with my scouts group, with my ex-boyfriend, with my family, all of that, but I've never actually done it alone. And I'm 23 years old, and it's kind of exciting to do it for the first time, at the same time daunting, because I know so many people who've done so much traveling before and have been brave and courageous to do it, and here I am just living my life and kind of being scared of the world, and I refuse to be scared of the world. I want to experience those things. So I booked myself a flight. I'm gonna be gone for almost a whole week, 6 days in total, and I am hoping to take you with me, or at least share a little bit of that experience. I still have to find accommodations, so if you have any recommendations on where I should stay in London, then please let me know. Also, if you have any recommendations where I should go, it doesn't matter if it's a cafe, a yarn shop, just some touristy things, please let me know. I'm just trying to collect as much as possible at the moment, so I can have the best trip for myself, and I'm just so excited about it, but also scared, but that's kind of okay. So yeah, that was my big-ish announcement. I'll be going away. This will be my holiday for, or to myself. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm not sure if I can meet any of you guys. If you are in London or surrounding London, then you can always send me a message. I'm trying to also go maybe to Cambridge if I can, depending on how time pressured I am, but I would like to see a little bit more than just London, some of the surrounding cities. I just have to really plan the trip, which is scary to do on my own, but at the same time really nice, because I can just do whatever I want to do. And high on that list is to go to Beautiful Knitters, the yarn shop that I have heard so many things about, and I've been wanting to go there and visit for an incredibly long time. So that is one of the things that absolutely has to happen. So yeah, if you have any anything else that you think I should definitely see or try, or I don't know, whatever, then do let me know down below, or send me a message on Instagram. I don't really reply to my emails, and I'm really sorry about that. It's just I don't really look into my email account that often, so if it's something urgent or you just want to chat, then it's better to send me a message on Instagram. Right, my camera battery is flashing now, so this means this is the end of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot of knitting done, or if not a lot, then I hope you just enjoyed my company. I will be back in 2 weeks with another episode, hopefully some finished objects and some more news about what's going on in my life. I will be on a work event this weekend, which I might tell you about next time as well. I'm super excited about this too. So there are just lots of exciting things coming up, lots of things to get me out of my home, and I'm kind of here for it. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day, week, weekend, whenever you're gonna watch this. Like and subscribe to my channel if you feel like sticking around, and happy knitting. Bye!